Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Tuesday evening. The weather is fine here, although I understand down south is having some problems with the weather. So thankfully we've just been a bit chilly, but nothing too bad. This evening I'm talking about preservation of stuff. And why I'm doing that is because I cancelled my Amazon Music subscription. And although I can still play music on my phone just now, I haven't actually looked it up. I just had this thought and I thought I'd come and tell you because it sort of gathered speed. And I vaguely remember when I cancelled it, it's like you'll no longer be able to play your music. I was like, but I bought that music. Surely I can play it. So I'm presuming I still can. I just haven't checked it yet. Because it made me think, and I know we've probably all had this thought before, we're all paying for these subscriptions but never actually owning anything. And my first thought when I realised, or when I had this thought of, what if I can't get to my music anymore, was I need to go and get Mike Oldfield, because that's my relaxation music, that's my calming music. I need to go and get that. And I thought, well, I'm not going to go and buy it off of Amazon. So I went onto the Mike Oldfield website, because that's what you do. And there are CDs for sale there. And I thought, I need to get a CD player. And CD players have changed quite a bit from the last time I bought one. So we're not going to buy that just quite yet. We're going to investigate what I can and cannot get to play, like on my phone or whatever. But then, as I was thinking that, I was like, are you stupid? You had this whole thing sorted before. I hadn't actually thought about it for music, but that's why I have my battery wind up radio. So that I am not reliant on the internet, so that I am not reliant on power if something goes wrong. And I think probably my phone has been glitching all day. I have no signal. It's emergency calls only. And I've stopped and started it so many times and it didn't work at work. It hasn't worked here. So I'm going to have to switch out my SIM card to my old phone, which is on charge just now, to see if that works. And if it's a SIM card that's a problem, then I'll order a new SIM card. But I was like, I should be more organised. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have my landline with a phone that works on a landline that doesn't plug into electrics at all. But of course, then that started me on the wider thing of, what about my stories? Because I've been writing my wee stories. What about my poems? What about my recipes and my patterns that I've saved? What happens if I've only got them on the computer? Normally, a few years ago, I would have printed everything out, but I don't have a printer anymore because printers were not particularly useful. And we don't use the printer at work very often because the ink's extortionate, as it is now. So I'm going to have to start copying things out. Because I want to be able to have access to those things. I want to be able to see those stories. I want to still be able to read them later. I mean, I go back and read them now. I don't even remember I wrote them, which is a bit ridiculous. But it's like, how many of us now don't have access to stuff or would not have access to stuff if we lost the internet? Oh, hang on, I need to let my cat in because it's dark. I hear you, Pooper. Come on, there's my girl. So yeah, how many of us have lost access to things or would lose access to things? So I need to think of whether I'm going to get I don't think I want to buy a printer. I think that would be a false economy. And yes, it may take me a few hours to copy things out, but I think that's the way to go. If there is something, I mean, there's one book that I've been writing for years, but I can go for 6 months without adding to it, and it's got about 500 pages just now, or 300 pages, I think. We'll go with 300, a more conservative estimate. And I wouldn't want to lose that. I mean, I know it needs certain sections taken out and other bits, there's stuff needs to be done to it, but I don't want to lose what I've got. And I was like, I need to get organised for that. And as I say, before, I made sure I had my radio, which I still have, battery powered, wind up radio. But I forgot about the printing, forgot about the words. And there's a lot of words that I've written myself. There's also documents that really I want to keep. So I may have to go and offer to buy some ink for work and do a whole load of printing. Or I may just have to go to the library and print it off. But yeah, I want to have hard copies. And I think I want to have hard copies of things like my music. And of course, when I was thinking of music, I was like, how many of us have Spotify? I don't. But we pay a monthly subscription, but we don't own the music. It's much cheaper buying CDs, I think, personally. So, yeah, I thought I would come and tell you that because I definitely think there's some things worth keeping and not just keeping in the cloud or on a subscription. That if someone else doesn't have access to it, they can't find it. Or if there's no internet, because in days of old, most of the stuff, you saved it on your laptop or on your computer and you put it into the cloud if you wanted to. Now I found when I got the new laptop that everything was saved in the cloud. Of course, when I got the new laptop, I was down at the caravan. I had got it specifically for no internet access, you will sit and write, which I did. But I couldn't go back to the old stuff because it was all on the cloud. Whereas if I'd been sensible about it, I would have just put it on a USB. But I hadn't particularly thought, as you can tell by my train of thought. It was like, oh, I never thought of that. So yeah, I am going to be looking at what I have and looking at how to preserve what I want. I mean, I'm lucky I've got the bookcase with a lot of like recipe books in it, gardening books. So I've got a lot of useful information in books already. But personal information, stuff I have done myself, I want to keep that. So yeah, there we go. It starts from, was that what I saw when I cancelled my subscription, to, I need to build a library. So yeah, that's where my thought process is just now. As you can hear, the cat is meowing because I haven't filled up her food dish yet. So I'm going to go and do that, and I will catch you later. I see you, baby.